The next post is from a distributor in Arbonne in Canada, and we're going to talk about pyramid schemes. My favorite. Let's take a look.
Call network marketing a pyramid scheme is just, it's not accurate. The reason I'm sharing that is because it's a really amazing business model that allows people to want to genuinely see other people succeed. Because the structure of it, me helping them succeed doesn't take anything from me. Them coming to me to learn doesn't take anything from them.
She is in Arbonne in Canada, and since we like to work with facts over here, let's take a look at the latest income disclosure statement from Arbonne Canada from 2025. In Canada, Arbonne participants earned in 25 between $0 and $325 in commissions and overrides. How much are you really helping people, and how much are you really supporting other people if that is the amount of money the Arbonne participants were able to make in a year? When you have to consider they buy products, they have to pay taxes, they have business expenses. That is not helping people, that is helping people accumulate debt. Most people, let's take a look at the individual ranks, are at the lowest rank. It is 72.8%, and median annual earnings is 176 Canadian dollars. The district managers is the 19% of people at that rank. That is the second rank, is $1,966. That is before expenses, that is before taxes. And then you have 9,394. That is only 5.8% of people who are at that rank. And then we have the top 1.8% in Canada, 44,286 median annual earnings at the regional vice president's rank, and the national vice presidents, that is 0.7%, is $145,589. That doesn't include expenses and taxes. You have to pay a registration fee that is 65 Canadian dollars and a renewal fee if you want to join. And Arbonne also says that in their own income disclosure statements that you have expenses, and those expenses are not mentioned in this income disclosure statement. And if you consider it, an Arbonne participant in Canada last year earned between $0 and $325 in commission and overrides, then you are not helping people. That is not an income people can live off. That is something that might contribute to a grocery haul here or there, but we're not taking into consideration the amount of money you have to spend. So this pitch is already bogus. It's a pile of poo, because if you don't help most people make hardly anything, they will end up in debt, then that is not a great business model. Definitely not the best business model for other people. But why are we doing that? Oh, because it's a good business model for me as the upline, and I need as many people on my team who purchase products, sell products, and recruit. It's not for other people, it's for the upline. Let's be honest here.
Like, it's a mutually synergistic, beneficial relationship. And so if you think about the typical in serving, it's like this. You teach all these new servers and you're not making any commission. But imagine you were teaching them and you're helping them coach and you're training them and you're telling them everything you know, and then they become like master number one server. But who put all that effort into teaching them? You did. And now you can build, because it's not equal energy exchange when you're not getting paid. So it's like, now you have put all this effort into this person, they're succeeding, and that's amazing. But imagine you were compensated truly for like what you taught them.
But you're not getting compensated for what you taught them. You're getting compensated for recruiting people. And if you are a server, you're getting paid for the time you spend there and the tips you get from the guests. You're getting paid to provide an actual service, whereas in Arbonne, you're getting paid to collect humans. You can have a team of 1,000 people and you decide to train 3 of them. And those are supposed to be your runners. Those are supposed to be the people that also rise in the ranks. They're the ones who have to build their own downline. They're the ones who are supposed to be successful so that you can build on their success as well. She is in Arbonne, or was in Arbonne in Canada, at the top rank. I haven't checked in. Let's assume she is still at that top rank. She probably has a big team of people, and she doesn't just benefit or profit off of the people she trains. So let's say out of 500 people, you train 3 people. You still benefit off of every effort, of everything the other people, the other 497 people on the team do. Every sale, every recruitment, everything they purchase is something that still benefits her. So it's not mutually beneficial. Now, for an upline, clearly it is interesting to have people on the team who do something, who sell and who recruit, because if they do that, that also contributes to your team's efforts, to your team's income, and that also provides you with a higher paycheck. But you don't need to put in any effort. If you have a runner, you've never spoken to that person, but that person also suddenly has a big team, you're able to benefit of that person if it's a recruit of yours and if that person is in your team. Everybody is stacked on top of each other. So the more people you have, the better. And the more they do, the better, because that way you get also more commission if your team is more dedicated and if they're able to sell and to recruit as well. But they could do nothing and she would still benefit of every person spending money because they purchase products themselves. If they have a sale here or there, she benefits off of that as well, although she never trained that person, although she never spoke to that person, and she still benefits of the people that her people recruit. She doesn't have to speak to those people. She doesn't have to train them. She doesn't have to speak and train those recruits. She still benefits. And as we have seen in Arbonne's own data for Canada in 25, it's a business model where most people are at the lowest ranks and they hardly make anything. If they purchase a couple of products, they end up in debt. How likely is it that everybody on her team is a baller and is doing exceptionally well? If this is Arbonne's income disclosure statement, most people at the lowest ranks make barely anything, might lose money, hardly anybody at the top, then it is very likely that her team looks like that as well. Sounds nice, sounds like a nice speech, but let's face it, it's not the reality in Arbonne. It's not the reality in network marketing, where all income disclosure statements look like the one I showed you. Most people at the lowest rank, some people in the middle, hardly anybody at the top. That's not a successful business model that is mutually beneficial. It is beneficial for the top people, not for the ones at the bottom.
Does this make sense?
No, it doesn't make sense because you're not getting compensated for what you taught them. The Teams calls are not paid for. The posts you do on social media that are supposed to be informative, you do not get paid for these.
This is the really cool piece of network marketing, is that because if I teach you and I put my energy and time into you and I really help you, then when you become successful, I feel like that was all worth it. And it's an equal energy exchange because I'm going to make money for all the time I invested in you and front load it into you to help you be successful back when you become successful. Does this make sense?
But that's really not it. You could train somebody for an hour and that person is well connected in social media, is well connected in network marketing, and therefore is able to rise to the top of the compensation plan. You still, to the max, benefit of that person, and you also benefit of somebody you have trained for, 3 hours every single day. It's about the collection of warm bodies and being able to participate in those people's efforts and in those people's purchases. So it's not a good business model because it's predatory. Most people at the top are able to make some money. Most people at the bottom very likely lose money. They hardly make any income. That is not mutually beneficial. And you don't need to train somebody to benefit off of them. You're collecting warm bodies. That's a bad business model.
And so if you think of another business, think of real estate. You go to buy a house, the real estate agent isn't the only one making money. The brokerage does, everybody does that, invested in that. In order for the real estate agent to even make money, they have to spend a bunch of money to have their membership and any business is like this, you guys, especially in sales. And the cool thing about network marketing is that you have the space to build time leverage and build time freedom. And me succeeding doesn't hold anyone back from succeeding. So I hope you can see, I just love this structure, and to call network marketing a pyramid scheme is just, it's not accurate.
It might not legally be accurate, but it's a stigma and it's a chip on the shoulder of the business model and says, hey, it's scammy, it's sketchy, most people lose money here. Go the other way or take a really, really close look at the documentation, what people are really able to make in this business model. So legally speaking, Arbonne Canada hasn't been shut down as a pyramid scheme. That is accurate. But it's a good sign that maybe there's something wrong with this model. And the income disclosure statement shows that very clearly. Why are we also always comparing network marketing to proper jobs, to people providing proper services, like a server? You cannot compare these things, or to the brokerage if you sell real estate. A server gets paid thanks to the hour they work and thanks to the tips they get. They do not get paid because they recruit another server, and then depend on that server to also recruit another server who recruits another server so that you become server at level 4. You can be a server and you make an income thanks to the service you provide. And also for the brokerages or for real estate, you cannot compare that legitimate business to arbonne, because people running their own brokerage, they actually have to invest money. They actually have to provide promotional material, and they pretty much give real estate agents a home so that they're able to provide a service. Brokers don't get paid because they recruit other brokers who recruit other brokers who recruit other brokers, and real estate agents don't get paid because they recruit other real estate agents into that brokerage who recruit other real estate agents. They get paid if they sell a house, if they sell an apartment. And in network marketing, that is not the case. You're getting paid more if you're able to recruit people. You cannot compare network marketing to being a server and running a real estate business. We also have a text, a long text. Too long for my liking, considering the nonsense we have already heard before. I am convinced network marketing is one of the absolute best business models out there in order to build time leverage with low startups and the ability to truly help others succeed alongside you. Well, she obviously hasn't achieved that if Arbonne's income disclosure statement looks the way it looks, like I've shown you before, because then you have the ability to do something. But if you don't do it, if you don't help other people in Canada, in Arbonne, to be super successful, then that's not the best business model. It's in theory the best business model, which of course it is not. But if it's not really, truly, in reality, a good business model, because most people make barely anything, then it's definitely not a good business model. In theory, me smoking is a good thing. Practically speaking, I might suffer severely. I might get lung cancer. I might cough all the time. It's pricey, it's stinky, my hair and my hands get yellow. But in theory, me smoking could be great. Me drinking excessive alcohol is not a good thing, but theoretically it could be. I don't know how yet, but I will tell you. So in theory, all of that could be good, but in reality, it's not. Huh? Something I feel so many people don't realize is that as a professional network marketer, I invest my time for free into new consultants, teaching them everything I know, helping them learn how to be successful, passing along everything I know and everything I've done alongside all the systems that we've created in hopes of supporting the new consultant to find success. Yeah, because you do not get paid to train other people. You do not get paid to post on social media. You do not get paid to come up with those weird podcast snippets. She also has a podcast. She only gets paid if she sells products and if she recruits people. And the market is getting saturated more and more. She does not get paid if somebody joins her team and that person never makes a sale and never recruits anybody. She gets paid, though, if that person purchases product. So if she has a new consultant and that person purchases stuff, then she gets compensated by the person just purchasing a couple of products. It is in her best interest that the people on her team also recruit and sell, but she doesn't get paid for the training. That is for free. Another thing, this messed up business model where everything is supposed to be sales and an exchange of money, you're doing a lot for free, network marketers. You're doing a lot for free. The posting, being on those calls, doing those podcast thingies, being on team calls, training your people. For, this allegedly so great business model, you're doing a lot of stuff for free. So is it really weird? You're compensated for your efforts later on. It is. And it is unethical because you also benefit and you also get compensated of every single person on your team that you never trained. Most people in network marketing and in Arbonne lose money, and you're banking on the few who hopefully are able to rise in the ranks. Yeah, that is weird, although I have a lot stronger words for that than weird. Imagine as a server you were compensated long-term for all the time and effort you put into teaching new servers. But she just admitted she doesn't get paid for that. She needs to have people on her team who are successful so that she is able to benefit of them more. And we spoke about it before, that is not comparable. As an employee, would you go to work for free every day to train your new co-workers? No, but you're doing it. As an employee, you're getting paid. You're getting paid to show up and to trade your time for money. And if you're getting paid to train your new co-workers, then that is part of your 8 hours a day. But she just admitted she doesn't get paid for it. She does stuff for free in the hopes that that person will sell and recruit. Or would you expect to get paid for the time and energy you're putting into people? You cannot compare these things. The horrible, horrible corporate job is a job where you exchange money for time. You give your time and you get money in return, and in that time you do your job. Whereas as a freelancer or somebody who is independently contracted, you need to be more flexible and you need to set your own hours, sell, and in the case of network marketing, which to me is not a legitimate sales job, you also need to recruit people. So you can put a lot of time and energy into doing something like trying to sell Arbonne products, like trying to recruit people, and at the end of the week you could end up $0. You have expenses, but if nobody purchases from you, and if nobody recruits people whose people also buy something, then you do not get compensated. Another reason why so many people end up in debt. You have expenses, but you might not have a steady income. You might not be able to sell and recruit. So if you wanted to actually get paid to train people, then you need to get a job as an employee, or you should become an actual trainer. Or you should become somebody who works in HR. There's also kind of your job to train people. Or you have to join a corporate job, or you have to work as an employee who regularly onboards new coworkers. Then you would get paid. So if that's your interest, and if that's what you want to do, you need to change industries. Compensation creates equal energy exchange. What? It makes it a mutually beneficial relationship where it benefits both people to pour the energy into helping new people. I think she means pouring into other people, not pour. Although that's a Freudian slip, isn't it? To pour the energy into helping new people become successful, because then you are both winning. But you're still winning even if that person ended up in debt. You're still benefiting what that person does. They sell one product, they themselves purchase a lot of products regularly, which is very likely if you're an Arbonne. And if you're able to recruit 1 or 2 people, you still benefit off of that. That doesn't mean that both people are winning. As we have seen with Arbonne's own income disclosure statement, the people at the top are winning. The people at the bottom are losing. Full podcast is out now, blah, blah, blah. A different version of pyramid scheme nonsense, but I love it nonetheless.